Describe your involvement and your impressions about Medici II.
My involvement with Medici II started a couple of years ago when Marty and I were thinking about ways of enhancing the research and the theory behind positive psychology, and so we decided to bring together people who are interested in this field and essentially let them loose in an atmosphere where they're free to interact and listen to each other and bring in guests, visiting scholars from around the world who would be able to focus on the topics that we think are most interesting. And so I came here to study something I care deeply about, namely the control of attention, and the group that I formed was called Psychological Capital, because this is how we assume that our personal psychological capital is formed by learning how to attend to things that are important in life. And we brought in neurologists, cognitive neuropsychologists from around the world to talk to us about the state-of-the-art research in that field so as to begin understanding this very important issue.
Describe how you think Medici II and follow-up seminars will affect positive psychology and the rest of your career.
Well, for a particular branch of science or scholarship to develop, you need a dense amount of information, both empirical information and also ideas that connect the facts to each other. And the best way to do it is to live together for a while in an atmosphere where you're free to talk about what you care and listen to what others do and learn from each other. And I think this is a wonderful way. I mean, we saved months of hard work, years of work, by being able to bring in the best people in the field and have them talk and talk to each other and to us in a way that we could get to a point where if we had to stay in our respective schools and just read books and call people up or write emails, would have taken years to do.
Discuss your area of interest within positive psychology.
Well, I have done several things that fit into positive psychology. For instance, my work on creativity for a long time has now been reformulated somewhat in the positive psychology movement. I started studying creativity 40 years ago, and I'm still doing that. I developed a concept of flow or optimal experience, which was now 30 years ago, and that is one of the things that a lot of people in positive psychology are using, how to make everyday experience more enjoyable, more like a work of art or more like a sport. And that is what I continue to be doing. My interest in flow started actually when before even that word came into existence, I was studying artists at work, and I was really surprised in a way to see all these painters, sculptors get so deeply involved in what they were doing that they would forget to eat, to sleep, and go to the bathroom. They were just completely entranced by what they were doing. And the funny thing was, once they finished painting, they would put it against the wall and kind of forget about it. So it wasn't that this deep involvement was aimed at producing a product of work that then they would either sell or hang on the wall and enjoy. It was the process of doing the work itself that was so exciting that they were willing to spend all this time doing it and all this effort doing it. So that I tried to understand what was about this experience that moved artists so much, and I started looking at athletes because they also did the same type of thing, musicians, chess players, and in all of these activities you find that actually people describe what they're doing and how they feel when they're doing it in very similar ways. That they talk about this deep concentration, the forgetting themselves, forgetting time, a feeling of control, all of which is much higher than what they feel in their everyday life. And then I try to understand under what conditions do people feel this way, and generally you find that you have to have very clear goals, moment by moment, like a musician knows every second essentially what the next note has to be and so forth. And they get feedback. They can hear whether what they are playing is what they want to play. And same thing is true of a tennis player, a chess player, although the cycle is slower. A poet feels the same way. And usually what you need is to have your skills matched to the challenges of the activity. When those are in balance, you enter the state of deep concentration. If there is too much challenge, you feel anxious. There's too little challenge, you feel bored. But if you are able to enter, to match what you can do with what needs to be done, then you feel that everything disappears except what you're doing. You're so focused that the roof could fall in, and often you couldn't notice it. Now, that is one half of what I've been doing, is try to identify this flow experience. The other half was the last part, the last few years, 10 years, has been to try to now adapt what we learned from flow to try to change everyday life, schools, workplaces, family life, so that you can make them more like a flow experience, because there's no reason why work can't be more flow-like or school can't be more flow-like. It's just that we haven't in the past thought about how to make it that way. We just wanted to be, work had to be efficient, and if the worker didn't like it too bad, he could find some other job. But now I think we understand that it's much better for everyone if people at work like their work and people in school enjoy what they do in school.